Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 28 of my show, but this is about Episode 31. Now, before I start talking about it, I just want to mention one little thing. I am going to record this. I'm just going to record this tonight, but I'm not going to upload it until tomorrow because of the fact that I'm uploading this kind of late. So yeah, so I'll upload it. Well, I might not upload it tomorrow, but I might upload it Friday, and then if it's up on that day, I might record another one Friday and upload it Saturday. Dependent. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, yeah, so what I am going to do is I'm going to record this tonight, but I'll upload it Friday probably, because I won't get the chance to upload it Thursday because I will be working 3:30 to 5 at the store. So I might upload this on Friday, so actually, I think today's Thursday, I'm not sure, but I'll check after I finish recording. Oh, forget about it, but I will just record this tonight, but I'll upload it tomorrow. Anyway, now getting into the actual episode, this is History of Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 28 of my show, but this is about Episode 31. And Episode 31 in the original Power Rangers series is known as Calamity Kimberly. Now, as the name of this episode states, that it focuses on the Pink Ranger, and she basically... Now, if anyone's wondering, this episode focuses mainly on Kimberly's character, and she basically has a bad day because of the... I'll explain why later on when I get into the part where she explains about it. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. Oh, and now that I brought it up, I just want to mention something else before I actually start talking about the actual video. Since we're on episode 31, that means we're, let's see, 31, 32, 33... Yeah, so we got 3 more episodes left. I got 3 more episodes left of the 30 segment before I get to a 2-part episode, which will kind of act in, at least for the first half, which will kind of end the Green Ranger run for, at least for the first half of the first season, and then, so yeah, so we're 31, 32, 33, yeah, 34, so we're about like 3 videos away from the Green Candle 2-part episode, which, as I told you guys again, what I am going to be doing is, if I get to a 2 or 3-part episode, I was going to do 2 or 3 separate videos, dependent on which, if it was a 2 or 3-part video, but if I got to like a 4 or 5-part episode, I was going to condense it into 1 hour-long video for you guys, just to make it easier and stuff. I just thought I'd mention it again since I brought it up with the whole thing with the Green Candle 2-part episode. Anyway, now enough getting off topic with the videos, so I'm going to actually start talking about this actual video now. the way this episode starts off is basically what happens is Kimberly is basically, she's in her bedroom in her house in the episode, and she's waking up, and then she realizes that there's a storm, so she decides to go back to bed and stuff. Well, actually what happens is her alarm clock rings, and she gets up, and then basically what happens is, after that, she sees that it's raining out, so she decides to go back to bed. Actually, after she wakes up, she looks in her mirror, and she sees that her hair is not right, and that it's raining, and basically what happens is she decides to go back to bed, but when she tries to go back to sleep, what happens is she accidentally knocks over her mirror that she was using to look at her hair, and that causes the glass mirror to break, and then she's like, oh great, 7 years bad luck, because one of the things about breaking mirrors is if you break a mirror, you get a total of like 7 years bad luck and stuff. Oh my god, I am so sorry. But I thought I'd get a little bit of technical information there out of the way about the breaking the mirrors thing. Oh, and another thing about the breaking of the mirrors, I'm just going to mention this one more time. There is one other series of Power Rangers where a broken mirror will kind of mention the 7 years bad luck thing. I just thought I'd mention that. I'm not going to tell you the season name because I want to save it for that, but I just want to tell you the season number. I believe it's season number 9 of Power Rangers. Now, I'll explain why when I get to season 9. I wanted to get that out of the way. And then, basically what happens is, Squad, who's looking, somehow Squat's outside, and then after he finds out what Kimberly's up to, he tells Rita that he's like, it's a perfect time to get Rita, to get Kimberly, your evilness. She's having a terrible day. And then, basically what happens is, after that, Rita says that she's kind of ecstatic about that, and she goes to Finster, and basically Finster tells her about a new monster that he has called the Samurai. I believe he's called, if I remember correctly from this episode, he's called the Samurai Fanman. Oh my god, I am so sorry, but that's kind of hilarious. Samurai Fanman. Now, the thing with the Samurai, this isn't the only time in Power Rangers that one of the monsters that the Rangers are gonna face is one that's sort of, based off of a samurai kind of thing. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning that is because it'll happen a couple of times in later seasons. Now, I'm not going to tell you the season names, but I'm just going to tell you the season numbers. The second time it'll happen will be, if I'm remembering correctly, the second time that'll happen will be season... the second time that'll happen, I'm trying to think. The second time that'll happen will be once, I believe once in, I'm not sure, but once in, maybe once in Power Rangers Time Force, because if I'm remembering correctly, there's a 2-part episode. Well, it's not actually a monster, but it's a movie world. Now, I just wanted to get that out of the way, and there are, like I said, there's also a couple of times in Power Rangers where one of the monsters that they will fight will kind of get referenced in other episodes, like, the next time a samurai-based monster actually will show up is, I believe, it'll be, seasons 10 and season number, I think, 13, but under different circumstances. I'll explain what I mean when I say under different circumstances when I get to season 10, and then once again when I get to season number, I think it's season number 13. So I'll explain what I mean by that when I get to those seasons. I just thought I'd get that out of the way. And then, anyway, getting back into the actual episode I'm talking about, I'm just gonna backtrack here before I continue. Actually, I'm not gonna backtrack, because basically what happens is Finster tells her about the Samurai Fanman, and then basically what happens is that he says that she asks Finster about her new monster, and he says that he's a horrifying brute called the Samurai Fanman, and basically what happens is he has this. Now, about the Samurai Fanman, the reason why he's called that is because he's a samurai-like monster, and he has this, his primary weapon isn't really a samurai sword, it's more of this weird, red-like butterfly fan thing, and he's got this little jar that can lead to another dimension. I just thought I'd mention that, and then basically what happens is, after that, what basically happens is, Rita then sends the Samurai Fanman to attack the Pink Ranger after it's created, and then, actually, after that what happens is it goes to where Kimberly is in the school, and then Tommy's saying hello to Kimberly, and then later on, Bulk and Skull show up, and then basically what happens is, Skull basically kind of makes this joke where he says that he guesses he wasn't, because to him, I guess he thought that they made a date, and in his mind, he said that, like, he said that basically he guesses that he wasn't lying when he said she had to cancel their date because she had to wash her hair and stuff, and then Kimberly tells him that basically they never made a date, and then Skull gets a little upset about that, and then basically Tommy asks Bulk and Skull, don't those banana brains ever quit? And then Bulk kind of makes this little bit of a mocking joke where he puts his head inside his coat and he says, washing the hair and stuff. I can't really remember, but it's something about washing hair. He says, oh, I just washed my hair and I don't know what to do with it. And then after that they leave, and then basically Tommy is asking Kimberly if it's okay if maybe he walks with her home and stuff, and she says that anything can happen. And he says that, she says that anything can happen, and then he says that he'll take his chances, and then the the locker door closes, and then basically, then it goes into a scene where they're walking in the forest, and she's telling them how her bad days all started. Because apparently one night, it all started, according to her, it probably all started last night when she had this weird dream that their enemy Mimosa was her wicked stepmother. And this is the funniest part of it. After that, Tony does this little shudder like, ooh, and that's freaky. And then basically what happens after that is she says, who said it? And then basically, according to her, ever since that dream, it's been like one bad day after another. Oh my god, I am sorry, but that's kind of hilarious. Anyway, continuing on with what I was saying earlier, after that, she said she's just glad this day is almost over with, and then it goes into a scene where Rita is, and she's like, over with? That changed, kid! And then basically, then it goes back to, where, Kimberly and Tommy are, and they're walking in the forest, and she says that it's weird. It's like she doesn't know what's gonna happen next, and then she starts to fall, and then basically Tommy catches her, and then afterward, the Samurai Fanman monster shows up, and then he uses his jar to capture Kimberly, and he opens it, and basically what happens is it causes this weird, like, wind to come blowing, and then after that what happens is Kimberly gets sucked into the jar, and Tommy gets knocked unconscious, and then basically what happens after that is, Zordon contacts the other Rangers to let them know about Kimberly's situation, and then what actually happens is after Kimberly gets captured in the Samurai Fanman's jar, it then goes to a scene where Squad and Babu are at the Putty Bowl restaurant, which is, I'm guessing it's a different type of restaurant in another dimension. I'm not really sure. It's never specified what sort of, but I know it's some kind of restaurant. And, oh, sorry, if you heard that burp in the video, I apologize. I just finished eating supper, and I had some cake before this, so if you heard that burp in the video, I completely apologize. Anyway, Babu asks Kimberly, who's in the jar, if she's getting hungry. Well, this is the funniest part. When she was sucked into the Samurai Fanman's jar afterwards, she was basically trapped in another dimension that only lasted for a short while. And this dimension in the jar, it had this weird green, like, goop all around it, which is kind of gross. Oh my god. Anyway, continuing on with what I was saying earlier. After that, Zordon contacts the other Rangers, and then after they teleport to the command center, he shows them where Kimberly is in the viewing globe, and he's saying that basically, as they can see, her present accommodations are rather unpleasant, and then basically what happens after that is, they morph to, after, Zordon tells them about the jar and that the dimension inside the jar only lasts for a short time. And when the dimension disappears, so will everything in the jar, including Kimberly. And basically, they morph to fight the Samurai Fanman. But they first start fighting putties, and then after that they get away from the putties, and then afterward, they teleport back to the command center, which then, the Ranger, then Tommy gets teleported, to the command center with them as a kind of an injury reprieve. And then the Rangers are asking, what happens is, they're fighting the Samurai Fanman, and then basically, what happens first is, after they transport to the command center for the first time in the episode, what happens basically is, like I said, Zordon is telling the Rangers about Kimberly's present accommodations and about the dimension inside the Samurai Fanman's jar. And then they manage to teleport Tommy, who is injured in the battle against the Samurai Fanman, to a chair-based object that was in the command center to rest. And then the other Rangers are wondering if Tommy's going to be okay, and then Alpha assures them that he is going to be okay. It's just going to take some time. And then afterward, Zordon tells the Rangers to be careful when battling the Samurai Fanman, because, as I said, the dimension inside the jar only lasts a short time, so if they hurt Kimberly, if they hurt the jar while she's in the dimension, she's gonna get hurt as well. And basically what happens after that is they start fighting the Samurai Fanman, and then basically after that, after they start fighting, they manage a bit of a retreat, and then basically what happens after that is then Zordon, then the Rangers ask him about how to deal with the Samurai Fanman and where he is, and then the Rangers, then Zordon basically says that his sensors have tracked them to the Putty Bowl restaurant. And then basically what happens is they go to where the Putty Bowl, and then what happens after that, after he tells them that his sensors have tracked them to the Putty Bowl restaurant, it does this scene where Squat and Babu, as well as the Samurai Fanman, are on the viewing globe. And then afterward, what happens is, basically what happens is, Squat, who's on the viewing globe at the Putty Bowl restaurant, is saying that the dimension inside the jar will disappear soon, and so will Kimberly. And then Babu says that basically after that they'll make all the other Power Rangers disappear, and he opens the bottle part of the Samurai Fanman's jar to ask her if she's getting hungry, and then she says that she wants to be let out and stuff, and then basically they go to fight the Samurai Fanman, and then afterward, basically, while they're fighting the Samurai Fanman, Tommy recovers from his injuries, and then basically, Jason contacts him on his communicator, and then he's telling Tommy on the communicator that they need his help, and then he tells Jason he's on his way, but Alpha tells him that he's hurt and he's got to stay at the command center to relax, but then Tommy reassures him that he can't because the Power Rangers need him, so he's morphing now. So he morphs to his Ranger form to help the other Rangers battle the Samurai Fanman, and then after that, after a bit of a lengthy battle, Rita then makes the Samurai Fanman grow using her magic wand, and because of the fact that they need the Pterodactyl Zord to form the Megazord, they sort of form the Mega Dragon Zord this time around, because without the Pterodactyl Zord, they can't form the Megazord. So basically what happens is they battle the Samurai Fanman. Actually, what happens is afterward, when the Rangers are fighting the Samurai Fanman, before Rita makes him grow, the Samurai Fanman basically says that they'll never get Kimberly back, and then after a little bit of a lengthy battle against him, Rita makes him grow with her magic wand, and like I said before, because of the fact that without the Pterodactyl Zord they can't form the Megazord, they form the Mega Dragon Zord this time around, at least for the first half of the battle, and then basically Kimberly gets released after a bit of the battle, Kimberly gets released from the Samurai Fanman's jar, and then she morphs to her Ranger form and calls on her Pterodactyl Zord and manages to help them form the Megazord to battle the Samurai Fanman, and then after a bit of a battle, they manage to destroy the Samurai Fanman monster, and then I'm guessing Rita gets upset that she lost again, and then it goes into a scene where the Rangers are in they're watching TV, kind of, and then basically what happens is before they're watching TV, Tommy's asking Kimberly about if she's okay and stuff. She said she is because of everything. I'm guessing it's concerned because of everything she's been through. And then, then the news report, then a newsroom anchor comes on the TV and asks the question, who are the Power Rangers and how did they get their amazing powers and stuff. And then basically he's telling a bit of how they battled another one of Rita Repulsa's monsters, and then basically after that, that's kind of where this episode stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, I'm not gonna post it today, but I will post it probably Friday. So if you guys like this video when I post it on Friday, just please give it the real best you guys can, and I'll see you guys probably Friday evening for the next video. So until then, guys, like I always tell you with this series, may the power protect you always.